Clown Legion, as like always. Voice a little raspy over here. I'm going to try not to be laughing like some wheezy ass weirdo. But we got Tom Segura. Is that how you say his name? I don't fucking know. This is Overdose, Uncensored. It's 11 minutes. Buckle up. There's some stuff I've heard in the past of Tom before. I don't know if I've seen this before. If I have, it's been so long I don't remember it. And that's usually what I do, disclaimers on comedians that I know and that I've heard their stuff, but it's been over 10 years. But this looks like I've never actually seen this video. So let's just get into it, check it out, see what it's all about. Oh man, I love this guy. Bikes! This guy's so good. The fuck you took! Probably one of my best favorite lines in indie stand-up, I think, for the most part. Let's just go. The guy's blind? The fuck? Dude, he's filming the murder.
Welcome to This Is Not Happening presents One Crazy Night. So this is what we do. We're a bunch of comedians tell stories about a similar subject. So this is just one crazy night. Give it up for my friend and yours, Mr. Tom Segura, everybody.
Segura, not Segoya. Segura. Whoops. I said Segoya.
Thanks. Ari Shafir, everybody. Let him hear it. Ari Shafir. All right.
I'm excited.
Let's go back to 1997. Holy shit. And fuck, that time flies. And I'm a freshman in college. And Thanksgiving, remember Thanksgiving, everybody? That's the first time that you go, usually back home. That's your first break in your freshman year. And it's a big deal because it's also like a mini class reunion, right? It's the first time you see everybody that you used to go to school with every day. You're back your first few months and everybody's recapping. And the big thing is the next day, the day after Thanksgiving, everybody gets together and parties their fucking balls off while acting like they're a new person, right? So I start off, I find one of the guys that didn't go to school, and he's like, I'm the new drug supplier. And I'm like, I remember you from math. And he asked me what I want, and I'm like, what do you got? And he goes, I have ecstasy. And I go, yeah. Everyone says, that's fun, let's try it. And I start taking it, and I forgot to mention, before I went to college, senior year, I got really into a drug that was making its way, especially through the South, through Florida, called GHB. And I'm sure, I don't know if you know what it is. It's a gamma hydroxybutyric acid. Your body naturally produces it. Sometimes there's some places where they regulate it as an anesthetic, but basically when you get it, somebody made it in a bathtub. And that's the good stuff, all right?
Yeah, the hair.
And they sell it to you, and they get it in a water bottle. They also call it the date rape drug. No, I didn't do that. I gave it to myself all the time. And it does have an amazing effect on sex. On masturbating, let's be honest. On masturbating. I really had some crazy masturbation seminars as a senior, and then I passed out, and I'm like, who jerked me off? Oh yeah, it was me. Okay. So.
Who jerked me off?
Anyways. Okay, so I get the ecstasy into my system, and then I take it. I'd never taken it, so as soon as I take it, I go like, hey man, fucking, I don't feel anything. He's like, you just took it, man. Like, give it a minute, all right? All right. So I'm hanging out at this party. We're at a party, everyone's together, and then we're gonna go to a bar. And at the end of the house party, on the way to the bar, I go, hey man, I don't feel anything. So he goes, all right, when we get to the bar, come find me, and I have GHB. So I'm like, okay. So I find him, and he's like, all right, let's go to the car. And that's always the big move when you go to the car, right?
Code.
Like, this is where dreams come true in the car.
Yeah.
Drug dealer's car is where it all lives. So I'm expecting what I know, which is a water bottle, and then a dose is the cap. So all you do is you pour the water into the cap and you drink it like that. It tastes like ocean water, like seawater, right? Salt water. And then it's immediate. GHB, if it's good stuff, it's like, we used to call it permagrin, because you just be like, and if someone's like, fuck you, you're like, So I'm like, all right, where is it? And he goes, it's right there. And he has a gallon jug,
Oh, jeez.
right? And I'm like, wow, that's not a water bottle? He's like, yeah, I haven't even put it into the water bottles yet. That's the full thing. And it's a full gallon. Now, if you think
Jesus.
about a full gallon, you know that A, the cap is much different. It's flatter. You're not going to sample. And it's also heavier. So I don't know how to pour it. So he's like, just take a shot. And I'm like, all right.
That's questionable.
I
That's
put it
questionable.
up. And then I go, in my mind, oh shit. I have like 9 shots in my mouth right now. So the options are, do I spit it back into the main jug, which I feel like he's gonna be like, not cool with that, you know?
Yeah, right?
Being that he's a drug dealer and all. The other thing would be spit it out on the ground, and I don't wanna be rude, right? So I just go like, and I'm like, holy fucking shit. I have taken way too much GHB. Now, I'm leaving out the point that you're not supposed to mix GHB and alcohol. It is potentially fatal. You may have known this if you didn't. It can be. At this point, I am on 13 or 14 drinks, right?
Jesus
And it's
Christ.
liquor, like, you know, vodka drinks, and I'm just pounding them. I get the 9 shots into me, and then I walk back into the bar, and I'm like, what's up, everybody? Like, I'm fucking...
That voice.
They're like, where does all this personality come from? This is natural, man. So, and then I sat down. I remember sitting down, and the girlfriend came, and she sat on my lap, and then lights out. Like, I just don't remember anything. Like, I went to sleep.
Jesus.
All I remember is that I wake up, and I'm looking at lights on a ceiling, right? I'm just like, oh, shit. Is this heaven? Or... And then I see a woman come into frame, right? Because I'm laying on my back. I can't talk. I can't move my arms. And this woman goes, hey, Tom, you are in the emergency room, and you overdosed on drugs, and now you're coming out of a coma. And I'm just like, like processing it. But the process literally was just eyes closed, like, oh, shit. And my only thought was like, I hope nobody knows. That's the only thing I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I hope nobody knows.
Oh, I'm getting the
And then
dread
I
just thinking
open
about
my eyes
your
again,
parents.
And my parents come in the room.
There it is. That's the
I'm
word.
like, everybody knows.
Yeah.
And they look so just like, we thought you were a good kid. What the fuck? So I'd never been in trouble. They won't let your arm out because I pull out the tubes. I have a tube for breathing. I have another tube that's pumping liquid charcoal into my stomach because that makes the chemicals and the drugs like come together, and then you also can't digest it, so you vomit, which is what they want you to do. So as I'm like, I'm also like, and throwing up, right? So they give me a piece of paper and a pen. I can't really write normally because I'm strapped down, but I can kind of chicken scratch. And they're like, what did you take? 'Cause they're trying to figure, I don't even know what I took. So I write, heroin. And they go, are you serious? And I write, JK.
That's fucked up.
Right?
That's so fucked up.
They're not like, good one. They're like, what the fuck, are you joking? So
What a piece of shit.
then the kid in me, I'm looking at my parents and I'm like so worried about them. I write on the paper, I go, are you mad at me? And my parents, at that moment, my dad reads it and he goes, no, buddy, just disappointed. And I'm like,
I would have been like,
can you
thanks.
save that for when I'm breathing on my own? Like, so
We're happy you're alive. Yeah.
I'm in that emergency, I get moved to critical, then ICU. In the ICU, a doctor comes in who I hadn't seen yet. And I'm later told, this is a doctor. They tell me this is the doctor that saved your life. So I'm sitting there in the bed, and he comes in, and he goes, are you in a band? And I was like, what, man? What? And he goes, are you in a band? And I was like, no, I'm not in a fucking band. And he goes, well, you had enough in you to take down 2 drum players and a bass player, man. And I'm like, you now with the fucking jokes, really?
Well, they have a higher tolerance,
And I
maybe.
go,
What? Come
well,
on.
he goes, what did you take? And I go, I had, I don't know, I took a couple pills. I told him honestly, I had some drinks. And I took,
9 shots of.
you know, some GHB, probably enough for like a lot of people. And he goes, what about the heroin? And I go, no, I was just joking. And he goes, no, you have heroin in your system. And I was like, really?
Those mixed
And
drugs.
he was like, yeah, you have heroin, you have
Fucking-
cocaine, you have PCP.
Jesus.
He's like, you also have the same chemicals that are in like cleaners, like some of the super duty cleaners. And I'm like, what the fuck, man? And he goes, where'd you get your GHB from? And I go, one of my buddies from high school. He's like, oh, he's a good friend. He gave you some fucking WD-40 to put in your system. So
I don't usually pause in front of any of my reactions. I just want to say that one thing is that whenever I was in high school and partying, that was always a thought in my head. Because there's always someone that took something, and sometimes the pill was made from a bunch of just random bullshit, and sometimes it was never made with what it was actually made out of or supposed to be made out of, and sometimes it was filled a little bit of what it was supposed to be and the majority of other crap to make an actual pill or something. And that always freaked me out because there were people that were just dying from that shit. And then, nope.
I eventually get to breathe on my own and all this shit, and then he comes back and they're like, the nurse tells me the doctor that saved you wants to talk to you. And I'm like, all right.
More jokes.
I asked him, like, how did I survive? And he was like, honestly, because you're fat. Like, you're pretty fat.
Ah, yeah! Woo!
And
I got it right here. Woo!
I was like, what, man? And he goes, I mean, a smaller person would definitely, like a 120-pound person would die halfway through this. This is just one of the only times where it's good to be fat, right now.
Oh, one of the only times.
Yeah. That's why I still haven't lost the weight, you guys.
Because he still does that shit.
I was like, the best part is when he called you fat. Tom Segura, everybody. Keep it going for Tom Segura. Hey, everybody. I just took a break from flying through space.
All right, that's cool. Jesus, that shirtless man. TJ Miller has seizure. No, I'm good. Yeah, that was really good. That was a pretty funny one. Again, it was more of a story and stuff like that with some funny part. There was a part where I knew I just laughed way too loud, but it was just that damn good. I got another one that I'm doing, not on this video, obviously, but it's a strip club named Beef. That sounds familiar. I don't know if I've seen that. I've seen people reacting to it, or it's just really old. But I'm gonna be checking out that one after this. So if you want more Tom Segura, stay tuned and watch the next day or two for that. It's gonna be good, man. Tom Segura. I really wish I would have watched. I mean, I'll rewatch Bike. I don't give a shit. It's just that good. It's probably one of my favorites because the "fuck you took" is the best line. I love hearing him when he says it's so good. But with that, I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you on whatever video I'm doing next. Later, guys.